right, buckle up. This morning on Wellness Wednesday, we're going to focus on ending the year on a high note. Before we turn to New Year's resolutions and fresh starts, we got to make sure we can maybe reflect on how far we've actually come this year. And here to help us is psychiatrist Dr. Samantha Boardman. Doc, good to see you.
Good morning.
It's so easy to get wrapped up in this time of year, but you say actually right now is the perfect time to look back and self-reflect.
Absolutely.
How do we do that?
So the idea is to sort of look back so you can move forward with intention. So one way you can really think about doing this is ask yourself some big questions. You know, what are you most proud of this year? What challenged you the most? What surprised you the most? And sort of asking these what questions helps you stay curious and sort of be intentional about what you're going to do next. But stay away from those why questions. Why questions really take us in this sort of much more self-critical
a dark
path.
place.
Yeah. And
Dark.
think of this as like a state of the union, but it's a state of you.
Oh. Let me let that marinate for a second. Talk to us about the good that it does. You know, it's more than just saying, oh, it's a nice thing to do. It actually does some good for your body, doesn't it?
Well, self-reflection is really what unlocks growth and sort of insight into sort of how we're doing. And we don't learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. We're so busy all day long, so many thoughts sort of bubbling up in our popcorn brains, and we don't take the time to be sort of thinking deeply about what matters to us, our values, our actions, and what like sort of our behavior. And when you self-reflect and you ask yourself some of those questions, you understand yourself better, you get to understand others better, you make better choices moving forward. And one really important thing, you start to notice patterns. Like what am I doing a lot of? Am I doing a lot of that? Do I want to stay on this path? Or maybe is it time for me to switch gears a little bit?
That's good advice.
I love that.
You know, Dylan and I were just talking about how busy this time of year is, especially for a lot of folks going out buying gifts, doing all this stuff, going to the holiday parties, and then next thing you know, we're turning the calendar. We're starting a new year. How do you go about making that transition from old to new?
There's so much sort of, well, as soon as this, then I'm going to do that.
Yes.
And we sort of kick that can down the road, and especially around New Year's. And we think, then I'm going to make these massive sweeping changes. Why not now? Every day is a moment for a fresh start. What even about sort of a pre-New Year's resolution? So if maybe that self-reflection, sort of some of those questions got you thinking about what you wanted to do more of, maybe why not do that today? If you want to start exercising, how about, tomorrow afternoon, if you want to volunteer, reach out to somebody.
That's a great idea. You almost give yourself a runway, so on January 1st, you don't feel so overwhelmed with what you're going to do because you kind of already started it.
And you also maintain that we should add something joyful.
Absolutely. So don't be hard on yourself. This is really a moment for you to do something fun, something meaningful, rather than kind of punishing yourself and avoiding something. What's something that's sort of more approachable, that's much more fun for you and elevating?
I got to admit, I'm not very good at self-reflection. I'm like, well, okay, let's just keep moving forward.
Well, it served you well, though.
Well, but we could all probably use some of that. So you say you've got a checklist of things to do, like starting off with thank somebody that you haven't thanked.
Well, so much we keep gratitude to ourselves. We assume that people know how grateful we are. It might be a little bit awkward to say it, so we don't say it. We don't put it into words. Well, they don't know, and it's not going to be awkward. So maybe write a letter to somebody who's impacted you this year, and it doesn't have to be a book, just something simple, and put it into words, because it gives them a boost, and it will give you a boost as well.
I'm going to do that. Of all of the suggestions you've just given us, I'm going to do that one.
You also talk about connecting with somebody you haven't connected with.
Well, our connections, our social connections, are such an important predictor of our well-being. And maybe there's somebody you've been meaning to reach out to. And as I say this, maybe somebody popped into your mind who you wanted to reach out to and you haven't yet. Call them today.
I did that yesterday, and I thought about him, and I thought, okay, let me just shoot him a quick email. And I realized that I hadn't responded to the last time they reached out to me.
That happens to me a lot, too.
And so I said, I'm so sorry, you crossed my mind, and I just noticed, blah, blah, blah.
That's good advice.
Responded immediately.
Dr. Boardman, thanks so much.
You gave us actionable things.
Yes, exactly.
Mental health
Thank
to-do
you.
list. That's good.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.